Now I want to accentuate the tonal difference between the petals and the trumpet, so I'm going to put some deeper yellow-orange by adding a little bit of the red, permanent rose, to the cadmium, so I've got a slightly more orange colour, and that's just going to go around the outside here and there, and if it doesn't melt into the damp paint, then I just need to encourage that to mingle with a damp brush. And then brush that outwards for the folds in the petals. And the same on the other one. A deeper colour just underneath the top of the trumpet on both flowers. While that's drying, I can darken some of the background, and I'm going to paint some mid-green. I've added some of the darker green to the lighter green, so I've got a mid-green, and I'm going to paint in between the stems and the leaves. And that will make the stem stand out nicely. On the outside, you can either fade that into the rest of it with a damp brush, or you can make other leaf shapes or grass shapes. So this green works nicely to make the stems and the flowers stand out. While that's damp, drop in a little bit of darker colour for variation. Painting around some bits higher up and using the tip of the brush to make some grass shapes, other leaves. Don't have to be too neat about what happens in the background. Lots of grasses and leaves. Or you could put water on and just fade it into the background. Little bits of darker colour here and there. Those dark bits really give it depth and make the yellow stand out. Now that's dried, I can go back into the flowers with some shadow colour, and this is a tiny amount of red tiny amount of blue and an even smaller amount of yellow. And this can give us some very delicate folds in some of the petals. And as I've said before, but it's worth reiterating that it's safer to underdo the colour than overdo it. It's safer to have colour that's a bit weaker, a bit too weak, rather than colour that's too strong, because you can always put some more colour on if it's too weak. But if the colour's too strong, it's very difficult to get rid of it. Now these little bits of grey just give a little bit more contrast, and they help to separate some of the petals. I'll just darken underneath that one. Add a little bit of yellow to it, and that pushes this lower petal further away. I'll add just a little bit of that underneath there and there. Some stronger yellow as well. Stronger yellow with a touch of red added to make them slightly oranger on those buds. And I want to darken some of the leaves a little bit. I don't want to make them too dark, otherwise they'll disappear into the background with the other darks, but just a little bit of colour pushes them further away, pushes some further away than others. Just darken the stem as it disappears behind the petals. Slightly stronger colour right in the middle there. Darken the underside of the trumpet. Little bits of really dark colour in the background just to give it more depth here and there. They're just little brush strokes, nothing specific. A few leaves, and then quickly just lift out one or two highlights on the stem. And the odd grassy bit. Bit of shadow underneath there. Tiny little bit of dark right around the centre, just to make that stand out. And there we are. We've learnt a lot in a short space of time, but with daffodils, don't get too bogged down drawing too much detail. Practice drawing the shapes from different angles, but the most important thing is contrast, light against dark, dark against light. That, above all else, is what really makes a painting work.
now available on DVD. Try these techniques yourself at home whenever you wish. Today's workshop is part of the Watercolour As If by Magic Beginners course. 6 fantastic 20-minute workshops on DVD, now available to order from the Painting and Drawing channel. For further information and to order your copy, go to www.paintingdrawingchannel.com.